Whoa, oh my god, I'm super fast. Holy crap-o. Oh my goodness gracious. That's like even faster. What's up, people? I'm Xogue, back on All the Mods 3. And you may have noticed that my voice is a little bit different. You may not. I'm not sure exactly how I sound at the moment, but I can feel it. I can feel that my voice is different. It's not all the way back, but basically, long story short, I went to get a tetanus shot because, you know, you're supposed to do that every like 7 years or something. And it's for, I guess it lowers your immune system or something. So this is actually the first time I've been sick since I was like 3 years old. And yes, I've had tetanus shots before, but this was the first time getting sick after them. So I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. I don't know. But my voice was completely gone. Like nothing. I couldn't even talk. Like I would try and you would hear squeaks. And it is pretty bad. I'm also coughing a whole lot. Like I'm actually holding one back right now. This would be another coughing fit. But anyway, we're going to move on. Just kind of ignore that. The voice change, it will come back at some point. So I had to trick myself into doing certain things that were kind of like progressing, but things that you wouldn't miss, you know, me doing in video. So I don't know. But I've upgraded these guys. Not sure exactly where I was in the last video. I'm pretty sure I wasn't that far though. So we have two. These are tier 2. These are tier 2 arrays, solar panels. But yeah, now we can go up to a tier 3, I believe. We should be able to. If my math was correct, we should be able to upgrade to a tier 3. One full tier 3 thing, which is like, I don't even know how much power that is, but it's a lot more. And right now, as it stands, I can, during the day at the very least, sustain our infinite wireless transmitter. So we're good there. I did go ahead and get the cactus battle sign. Now, sorry about that, buddy. Lamp Keeper, I'm not sure. Maybe I did it wrong somehow. I have actually the bone, which, if you look at the trait, the fractured trait, it actually increases damage. So I thought maybe it would increase the thorns damage, but it's not doing any damage. The cactus battle sign is not doing any damage at all. It says it's attack damage, so I could whack people with it, but when I actually use it as a shield, it does reflect projectiles, which is really cool. I can kill a skeleton with his own arrows. But when things are just using melee against me, just punching me with their fists like zombies and stuff, it doesn't do any damage. It knocks them far back, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't actually do damage, which is what I was expecting it to do. So if I did something wrong, you got to let me know down there in the comments. I'll see if I can make a new one. Maybe I can actually make it work, and we'll see. The other thing is Enterteen suggested we do some chisels and bits stuff for these things, which I completely agreed with, and I was trying to play with it. The problem with doing this is, you know, the chisels and bits thing that is that when you start to do chisels and bits in a small area like this, it's really hard to make it blend well with the blocky style that the rest of the building is in. So it has to mesh well. It has to blend well. And that's something that is very, very difficult to do when you're messing with chisels and bits. Here's what I've tried to come up with. And you guys got to let me know if you like it. Basically, of course, you have the caution tape kind of thing. It's not really tape. It's more of just signage, which is still kind of blocky and everything. And because it's so squared off and blocky like that, it fits pretty well. It fits okay with the rest of this stuff. These guys I'm not so sure about, but the idea behind it is that they were full blocks like the rest of the build is in, but when they fell, they kind of chipped into pieces. And that's kind of what I was trying to go for here. Now I could add them to the empty blocks here and like stack up a few bits in the corners and stuff and add some stuff, you know, various things. And I think that would help blend it a little bit more. But overall, I'm trying to get a feel for if it will work. We've been getting huge amounts of these regular crops here. The rice, the garlic, the ginger, the chili peppers, all of the stuff we need for our curry. So much so that I had to put them in their own little area. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. So we have huge amounts, like almost 20,000 of every single one of the things that we need, except for chicken. But still, 10,000 chicken is kind of a lot. It's going to last us a while. Basically, what I'm trying to get at here is that we need a lot more room. Like, that's just tier 2 has an extra, like, 12 seeds or something, which goes all the way to here. This is all going to be tier 2. This is the start of tier 3. Now, tier 3 has like 25 more seeds, which goes all the way down to like right around here-ish. And then you have tier 4 and tier 5. So we need a lot more room. And both of those have a lot of seeds in them as well. Like tier 4 has even more seeds than tier 3 does. Tier 5 doesn't, but it's pretty close. It's not too far off. So what I want to do today, my plan for today, well, one of the things for today is actually to redesign this whole area. I now have a good idea of what kind of a design I'm looking for, what I want this area to look like. These guys right here, you see the quartz blocks? That means they're all tier 2 crops, which means every time they're harvested, they don't drop 1 essence, they drop 2. Okay? And all of them are now full. Every single one of them is now full with a tier 2 inferium essence. And then I went up over here to this guy. Okay? This guy is a special little thing that automatically combines everything down into supremium essences. As soon as we get a 4th intermedium or whatever, we're going to get one of these guys. And it's just going to jump up like that. I mean, it keeps going forever and ever and ever. This is the tier 3 stuff for environmental tech. And if you don't remember, it's the solar panel stuff. That's what we need in order to upgrade that. Okay, 236 is a huge number. Like, it's unbelievable. This stuff grows so slow. If any of you have used the mod, that will tell you just how long I've been AFK. But if we take a look at the supremium essence, we have 613 of these daggone things, plus the 20 supremium ingots, which take 8 each. I've been busy, guys. I have been busy doing nothing here, okay? We have supplies among supplies, among supplies, among supplies. So the next thing that I wanted to do is I think we're going to actually replace our armor. The reason I'm doing this is not because I think these are not good, because they're pretty good. It's because I really want to try out the supremium armor, because you can do some pretty cool stuff with this stuff. Pretty cool stuff with this stuff. You know what I'm saying. This stuff, the set bonus is flight. Okay? And there's a couple things I'm really looking forward to. Number 1, on the helmet, permanent night vision, forever. No cost, 0 cost. And on top of that, since the full suit of armor will give us flight, I can get rid of our angel ring for now, which clears up a little bit of room in our grid power. And it will allow me an extra slot, an extra ring slot for, say, Britannia, giving me even more special powers. But I have everything for, I think, 3 pieces. Yeah, I need 1 more nether star. Do I have enough wither skulls to get 1 more really quick? Because this shouldn't be all that difficult. I only have 2. Oh, man. Well, at least I get to show you this thing that I made in the nether. This guy. This guy right here is wicked. This thing is just crazy, okay? And this is another reason I actually get my tool bag, because I keep forgetting to bring the tools with me when I actually leave my house or whatever. So I designed this thing to kind of be protected against, you know, gas fireballs if I were to get shot at while I'm in here or whatever. And basically the way I did that is that I have like a bottom entrance. So I go down in here and then I fly up. And it is very, very laggy in here. I don't know why, but it's just crazy. It's also very loud, I think. There we go. I think that's better. So I can pretty much just sit here for however long. Yeah, and all the pigmen are now mad at me. Yeah, I've been here for like 4 minutes. I have 7 of them. I think things are working out pretty well. Stupid nitro creepers. Sorry, Wither. You never really stood a chance, man. And now to craft our gear. I'm so ready for this too. I've been kind of waiting. I don't know why. I mean, this armor is really not all that much better, if even at all better, than, you know, what we're wearing now. It's really not. And it gives us night vision. No crap. It's pretty simple, actually. If we go to usage, go here. For this one, I wanted, you had that. So boom, you have fire resistance. And of course, these guys have the speed. So you go there, and you guys, I decided to go with the regular resistance. I figured a resist to everything, even if it's a lesser resistance, is better than just a particular type. Whoa, oh my god, I'm super fast. Holy crap-o. Oh my goodness gracious. That's like even faster. I mentioned in a previous video that I don't know what this is going to be, some kind of a building or a rundown park or blah, blah, blah. And I was watching that video back and I was like, you know what? A park would actually be perfect. Okay, I think a park would be unbelievably perfect for this scenario. One, it's a huge area. Parks always take up a lot of space. Okay, they also have a lot of landscape in the area. So it's a lot of patterns to follow. And there's a lot of, you know, grassy areas that a bunch of survivors could repurpose as farms. And a lot of times there's even water included, like a lake or some kind of pond or a river or something going at least somewhere nearby. Granted, we have a lot of water here. We really don't have to worry about water in this survivor world. But, you know, story-wise, it's pretty cool. I think it works. Now, the couple issues we have with this, I never really liked the squared off parks. The ones that had the strict fence, we're going to have a fence, but not a straight square fence like this. And we're going to back everything up to the wall. So this edge will be straight, but the other edges won't be. And over here, I'm thinking we're just going to kind of go around. We're just going to be a little bit wavy, I think, with it and kind of make it a non-standard shape. As long as it's a non-standard shape, I can live with it. But I think I 32 stacks, right? I capped it off at 32 stacks. Right now, we are harvesting all of those things, but we're not even saving them anymore. Right now, they're just instantly being voided off. So why do I have them planted? 18,000, 18,000, we're good. We're good on food supplies, okay? We don't need any other crops other than resource crops. But the first thing, very similar to how we did this building, how I told you I wanted to build it up how it would have been pre-apocalyptic world, I want to do the same thing with the park. So I want to make the park, and then I want to destroy and repurpose the park. And that's how we're going to do this, I think. So here is the plot, completely emptied of everything. I have a few extra bags here. This one is stuff that I tore down from this area, as you notice, has been converted over to grass. And I think these guys are going to be moved very soon, but I don't really have a whole lot of time in this episode. So for right now, I'm leaving them, and I'm either going to do it in between episodes and kind of leave some of the upgrades that I want to do out until that episode, or I'm just going to wait till the next episode to do all of it. But I think this whole corner over here is going to actually be sent into it. So this is all going to be part of it as well, I think. And maybe even, actually, I could go, that's a good idea. I could go this way, could bring it up over here, and then have this whole area as a park, which is kind of, I think it's kind of cool, but again, I mean, we have a power plant right there. Why would a power plant be that close to a park? You know, we could do some cool little themed stuff around it. Like we could put up signs over here with like protest signs, and maybe even have like stage a couple of people, or I don't know, maybe some named mobs or something, and kind of have like, well, I guess you wouldn't have the people, wouldn't be there anymore. It's an apocalyptic world. Duh, Xogue. I don't think this park is going to be that upscale. I think it's going to be just kind of where everybody goes to relax and to take a walk. Like we'll probably have a grass path going around, and interweaving with the regular path that's around here as well. And the other grass path is basically going to be like the jogger's path or the biker's path that people use just for sightseeing and just for exercise. And then we'll have like benches and trees and bushes and flowers and all kinds of stuff going on in here. Maybe even some kind of decorative pillars I was thinking about, but I don't know if that would fit. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this yet. Okay, wait, stop right there. This whole thing is leading to one final design that just doesn't work. It looks okay, but it does not work. So we got to rewind a little bit. We got to bring it back and start from scratch. Now, The reason for that is because the paths were very kind of crazy, and usually parks are better designed than that. The second is that I had a design idea. The second reason, that is that I had a design idea for these straight edges that I didn't implement. I completely forgot about it while I was building the whole thing, and it just didn't work out. The third is that the ground was completely covered. The whole point of this park is to allow us to put down an insane amount of resource crops. That's the whole point, and I covered the ground completely with trees and bushes and grass and everything. Now, granted, we could have chopped them down, left most of the roads and everything put, but even still, it didn't quite fit. Didn't sit right with me the way I had it, so I would rather have a good design than one that was completely terrible. Now, considering this is said before the second design is even started, I really, really hope that I don't flop the second one too. I think the last design was just me overthinking things. It's kind of something that I do, you know. I kind of put myself, wow, words. I kind of put myself under a lot of pressure sometimes to make something that looks accurate, that, you know, as well as good. But really, this is a park. This is about the extent of what you would see in some parks. I did quite a bit of chisels and bit stuff here, but like. The tables are from Rustic, whatever mod that is, but they didn't have any benches or anything, so I made my own. Well, I reused the ones that I made from the last design. In any case, I wanted to find a little grill so I could kind of keep the area going, just make a small little grill area over here where people could bring just steaks, you know, bring a football, or, you know, for those of you in other countries, bring a... You call football, we call soccer. Bring one of those along, you know. You bring your own little goalie? Bring your own goals and stuff. I mean, you can do what you need to do here. The only problem with this is that now we're talking about the post-apocalyptic world, and we need to destroy it. There's no technology to fail. There's no anything. Like, there's nothing to fall over. Trees can last a very long time on their own. They don't need any assistance from humans. The lawn would just, the grass would just grow. That's it. It doesn't need anything else. There would be flowers here, so you'd have the flowers in there, and we'll have that. Maybe some of these guys would start to crumble, so we can break pieces out of this. And you know, our benches and everything, maybe they'll start to crack, or maybe I'll get some kind of like moss stone or something and try to weave that in there so that the green of the moss stone is actually in the wood, and that way it looks like it's maybe molding or something. By explaining why the lines were straight here, it makes it look like it fits in better, and that's the basic idea. That's why these you know, lines of the park are so straight, and it's okay, it's fine, because we have this other thing here. What's the purpose of this thing? I have no idea. It's just like a boardwalk with no shops on it. You know, so you're like, yeah, I'm catching the football, woo, bam, got it, boom. Or you know, if you're across the pond, be like, bow, kicked it totally, made it into the goal that's set up, pretending right here. You know, and maybe we could set up some kind of goals. We could do some soccer/football goals here on the ground. I don't know, though. I don't know if I want those to be a permanent thing, because you can always bring those with you. They have cheap little plastic ones you can carry with you to the park and bring with you home. And that's kind of the way I wanted this to be. Full natural, just a place to relax. So I think I've succeeded in that front. All right, so here is our rundown park. I say rundown when really parks don't get run down so much, not like buildings do. They actually just get overgrown because they're naturistic. Is that a word? It's a word now. This is where people used to walk all the time. This is where they stayed. They came to this location, or they wrapped around and walked over to here, or they came to the black frame something. Or they came over to the picnic table, or they did certain things and they walked along the path. But now that people aren't here to do that, we've got some patches in here. The grass is taking back over, or the land is dying. The grass is dying a little bit. We got some core stuff where grass just can't ever grow back again. It doesn't really look like mold, but it does look like something that could theoretically happen in a fantasy world. We're just going to call it some kind of new plant life that likes to live inside wooden objects. It's kind of like mold, but it's more all-encompassing than that. It's like it's eating through the wood. These lamps are just really cool looking. This is from the first design, and I don't know how to make them look old, because I can't really slap some vines on it, because the vines, even if they would place, which I don't think they will, but even if they would, it would just look weird, because, you know, the vines are the width of a full block. The width of a full block on a post that is not the width of a full block would look really, really weird. So we can't really do much to those. We're just going to say there's some kind of new age, fully automated, can take care of themselves something that just never needs to be maintained ever, and they still forever work well. Could you die, please, thing that's trying to shoot me? I'm trying to do some stuff here, okay? Did you really just shoot an energy blast at me after you died and disintegrated? Pretty sure you did. So I think the rundown nature of this place is acceptable. I think it is rundown enough. And I think it looks okay. And we still have enough room for all of our crops. Now, obviously, you know, all of this extra grass that I laid out, it's all going to be gone, or mostly going to be gone. But I think I'm going to leave little patches of things around that have little spots of like open grass, if I can make it look okay, and make it look like maybe the survivors just, they only took the slots that they needed for their crops. And that's kind of what we're going to go for. I do believe we've done it. Check this out. We actually have enough room for every single crop. Every single seed. Now, I will say that my original plan back with the other design was actually to have 15 of every seed. I have reduced that down to 10 of every seed. One, it's easier for all the math of all this. And two, because even with 15, we got a lot of this stuff in a very short time. Like, it really didn't take that long to get and build up such a huge number of each of the essences. But right here is the Inferium. This is all the tier 1 seeds. These guys right here. And we're still missing the mob ones. We're still missing all of the mob seeds. We don't have any of those yet. And that's because we don't have a huge mob farm to get a whole lot of mob chunks that we need in order to make those seeds. And we will get them eventually, just not right now. Probably not anytime soon. Not until after we build our whatever kind of spawner, crusher, killer chamber thing we're going to make. But those are tier 1 seeds. These are tier 2 seeds. This and this are tier 3 seeds. These guys, this one, and this one are all the tier 4 seeds. There's a lot of these seeds. This one has the most. And this guy is the tier... Oop, there's no lag spike. Okay, give it a second. I'm definitely going to have to restart the game after this. But this one and this one are the tier 5. And then this guy right here is tier 6. There is a tier 6 in this because there's some mod somewhere actually added a 6th tier. As you can see, if we pay attention in here, we actually have some Inferium seeds in here. And that's because these guys work on perfect squares. Right? And they don't even do every single one of them. So you have 15 by 15. You can go 1 by 1, 3 by 3, 5 by 5. So basically, what I'm saying is that you have to go a little bit bigger to accommodate for all of the seeds that you want, which means you're going to have a couple of extra spaces. Since we didn't actually use all of our Inferium seeds, I figured we would fill those extra spaces with Inferium just to kind of boost it back up, maybe come closer to where we were before. I'm not organizing the crops at all. This is kind of a randomized thing, and I think it looks better that way. It's more... I don't know. A group of survivors may have organized the crops. They may have put them in certain rows or something, but I don't know. I think it just looks better if it's all kind of thrown in there as they kind of came in, I guess. I don't know. I think it looks better this way. So we're just going to do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, though. I think it does actually look like maybe a group of survivors came in and did something with the park that wasn't originally intended to be part of the park. It's not something that you would expect to be... It's perfect, I think. These plots, they are squared off. And they probably shouldn't be. And I tell you, I could do... I'm not sure what I could do about that. I could add extra splots. extra spots around it to kind of round off these things a little bit. And just plant some regular old crops there and not worry about getting them harvested, which I might do. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how I want to play that just yet. But yeah, having them squared off like this is not exactly how it would be. If it were an actual group of survivors, they would probably... Oh, there's another spike. Oh my goodness. They would probably fit it right into the grooves of this thing, you know, right around the path, and they just have it like a very, very weird shape. We're not going to do that because we need the machines to be able to pick up these guys in the perfect squares that they're at. And I think that's probably just how it's going to have to be. But I think it looks okay. I don't think it's terrible. But that is going to be it. I do have to hook up the power and the transfer and everything, gather them to a central location so that these guys can actually harvest everything they need to harvest. And that way we can start getting our supplies back. But we do have a little bit of a problem down here, is that we are running out of space. Again, I'm going to have to make another disk drive and put a bunch more 64Ks in there. And I need to settle this. This needs to be handled really, really fast. And I think we're going to do a lot of the machine work. We're going to move a bunch of things around. We're going to do a lot of stuff in the next episode. And until then, I think we're going to leave this stuff unhooked. And that way we have a better chance of actually lasting that far until we get to the next episode to actually handle that situation. But that is all I've got time for this episode. If you liked it, please do hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you. There's another like spike, by the way. Oops, there it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Do what you do, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, peeps.